William Sidney Porter, better known by his pen name O.Henry, was an American short story writer. O.Henry is known as one of the best short story writers of his times. He uses the element of surprise at the end of his stories. In the short story of A Service of Love, also he brings a surprise in the end. A Service of Love, there are two members, Jalea and Joy. Joy and Jalea met at an artist's studio. They fell in love. A short time later, they were married. They moved into a small apartment and they were happy. They were happy because they had their music and painting. They had each other. Joy took painting lessons in a class given by the great painter Mr. Magister. Delia studied singing with the famous teacher of voice Mr. Rosenwolks. Their plans were very clear. Joy would soon be able to paint magnificent paintings. His pictures would be so fine that wealthy people would rush to buy them. As for Dela, she would become a famous opera star. Audiences would hurry to the theater for the right to hear her song. They enjoyed their life in their tiny apartment. They were happy as long as their money lasted, but after a while, life became more difficult. That sometimes happens with one's cash going out and nothing coming in. They needed money to pay for Mr. Magister and Mr. Rosenstock their fees, but when one lives one's art, nothing seems too hard. So Delia said she must give music lessons to help for the groceries for 2 or 3 days out searching for pupils. On evening she came home delighted. She said she had found a rich people, a girl of 18. She was the daughter of General A.B. Pinckney and her name was Clementina. She was to give 3 lectures a week at the rate of $5 for a lesson. Joy suggested that he would sell paper or lay cobblestones and earn $1 or $2. Delia pleaded that Joy should not discontinue his studies as the $15 a week she was to earn would be enough for them. Joy didn't like the idea of her working. In reply, Delia said, "When one loved ones are no savers, seems too hard." Joy told Delia that Mr. Magister praised the sky in his sketch that he had made in the park. He said he might sell a painting if a right kind of rich idiot sees them. So Joy would take his breakfast early and leave for the Central Park to make sketches. Delia praised and kissed him for encouragement. He would return at 7 o'clock in the evening. At the end of the week, Delia came home and threw 3 $5 notes on the table proudly and triumphantly. But she seems to be tired. Joy, with an air of a king, took out $18 notes and placed it beside Delia's earnings. Delia declared that they never had so much to spend before. She said they would have oysters that night with $33. On the next Saturday evening, Joy reached home first and placed $18 on the table. Then he washed a great deal of dark paint from his hand. Half an hour later, Delia arrived and her right hand had been in bandages. Delia explained that she was serving a boiling hot dish to Clementina when it spilled over her hand. Her hand was burned and it hurt very much. Joy made Delia sit near him on a couch and asked her what she had been doing for the last 2 weeks. She waited for a moment or two with eyes filled with love, but finally she dropped her head, and the truth came out. Actually, Delia had got a job in laundry, ironing shorts, and Joy worked in the engine room of the same laundry where she worked. Both of them told white lies to each other. Joy also confessed there was no buyer from Peoria and that he worked in another section of the same laundry. Where she worked, he said the buyer from Peoria was as real as General Pinckney, and they laughed until tears filled their eyes. A Service of Love by O.Henry is about a married couple who had a deep love for art. During the story, one of the main characters, Joy Larrabee, pretends to have a job as an artist. Delia Larrabee pretends to teach a wealthy general's daughter how to play piano and gives her music lessons. The couple lies to each other and both get to job at a laundry, working at different sections. Then, when Joy finds out Delia supposedly hurt herself while teaching Clementina, Joy knows Delia was lying. Then, when the truth is out, everything is alright and they forgive each other. The author uses situational irony, a literary element in the story. He uses his element of surprise by shocking the reader with the conclusion of the story. When the reader finds out that both Joy and Delia lied about their jobs to each other, even though both Joy and Delia lied to each other, neither of them was mad. This is shown when Joy says to Delia, "Where one loves one's art, no service seems too hard." And Delia replies by saying, "No, just when one loves, no, just when no loves, no service seems too hard." This shows the reader that no matter what, Joe and Delia still love each other, and they lie to protect each other's dreams. There is a twist in the story towards the end. Ironically, both Joy and Delia accept the harsh realities of life. Now they don't work to pursue their art. Now no service seems too hard when no one loves. The title ironically contains the theme of the story. Thank you for watching.